I'll try the water from the apothecary.
He supposedly went all the way to the Takoff waterfall to collect it during the full moon. I believe you can do it. Should the demons attack you, just run away. But don't make too much of a ruckus, or you cause a panic. God be with you.
My God! I'm here for some horse tack. I hear you have something for me.
Well, fuck me. You got out of jail yesterday, and today you've got a horse. Fuck, I wouldn't mind having your kind of luck. But you're fucking things up for me and making a mess. And I don't want to get a whipping on your account. I've got the tack ready, but I've been ordered to show you our herring first.
It's not luck, it's status.
Take him, they said. So kindly take a look at him in the stable here and tell me if you want him or not. Be with you, good sir.
Did you hear what happened at the big wheel at the mill? Yeah, the place by the Jehorovka stream. What then? As the water strikes
Oh my god, herring is way better than my current horse Tarrant. Absolutely I want him. Are you kidding me?
I took a look at herring.
And?
I'll take him.
Good. He ain't the fastest, but he'll work his little heart out, and he'll keep going for fucking ages. And he's a well-behaved, smart animal as well. An honest stock, too. From the Samin stud farm. Not one of them stolen nags that's seen around these parts. I've heard that wind is blowing from them dodgy nomads.
So I heard.
Well, let's not forget about your horse. He's there in the stables, so go and get him. You do know how to ride, don't you?
Ah, don't worry. I'm right at home with horses. I learned to ride with cumans on my tail, and arrows whistling past my head. A tough school it was.
Well, I'll be damned. I never heard such a thing before. But even an experienced horseman like you needs equipment, as you well know. You can tack him up yourself, right?
Sure. Thanks.
Take care, sir.
What do you have?
I'm glad you found what you were looking for, sir.
Aye, but he drools all over himself, and he gets this feeling that his time's nearly up.
Does he get it on? I'm sorry.
My respect. Careful!
I don't care. Lovely view out the other day for a great price. Excellent. You made a fine purchase, good sir.
I'll have a look at...
Thank you, sir. And come again.
You have a kind master, agency.
So, how did you end up at Trotsky?
Sir Otto hired me in Prague as his bodyguard and a swordmaster for the local castle garrison. I reckon he sensed he was in danger. And he was right. A band of scoundrels was lying in wait for us on the road, and they nearly got us.
How was your company ambushed? What happened exactly?
It was well planned, I must admit. They nearly got us.
And what went wrong for them?
Hard to say. Maybe we were just lucky, and God was watching over us.
That's all there was to it.
If you really want to know what I think, the idiots lacked discipline. They rushed it.
What do you mean?
It might have come down to a single fool's mistake. I don't know. But if they just waited a bit longer, we wouldn't have stood a chance. Like I say, I thank the Virgin Mary and all the saints for watching over us.
Why do they call you Black Bartosz?
It's just a nickname, of course, because of my, black hair. Every swordsman has a nickname, you know? Once you win a few tournaments, they give you one.
So you're really a high-born knight?
Indeed. I'm Bartoszek of Drahonitz. My father served Emperor Charles his entire life.
Oh, sorry. I suppose I should call you Sir.
No, there's no need for formalities. Titles are worthless. A man should earn a name for himself. It's not enough to be born with a silver spoon in your mouth.
You must have been honoured when the Royal Chamberlain chose you as his bodyguard. How did you meet?
That's simple. I was serving in the garrison in Prague's royal castle, where von Burgo was a frequent guest.
I see. But what brought you to his attention? You have good connections, I suppose.
Depends what you mean. I'd recently won 2 big tournaments, so I was invited to a splendid banquet. It was there Sir Otto offered me a position at his castle. I'd heard of Trotsky, of course, but I was still astonished when I saw it with my own eyes. Sir Otto spared no expense to build a truly mighty fortress.
Sorry, but we're about the same age, and I'd never have guessed you're a swordmaster.
We each have our own path, it seems. I even studied at university, while I could still afford it.
What? You're a man of letters as well?
I wouldn't go that far. I dabble in poetry a bit, that's all. I may come from a noble family, but we're not renowned or rich, and studying costs a fortune, and I didn't have one, so I had to do what I do best.
You became a mercenary.
That's right. I spent more time fighting than studying at university, and I came out of it alive, so I reckoned that's where my talent lies.
Where did you learn to fight, Bartosz?
I've dedicated the last 5 years of my life to it. I travelled a lot and was taught by several masters.
I'd like to see the world too, but I haven't even made it to Prague yet.
Well, I haven't been all that far either. But unless you learn from true masters, you'll never become a master yourself. Fortunately, these days there are plenty of swordsmen in Prague who'll train you for coin.
I hope to make it to our royal city someday soon.
If you do, go and see Master Lamprecht and give him my regards. He's a man of honour and a peerless master of the longsword.
I'd like to learn a new combat technique.
Certainly. Why not? I happen to have some time on my hands, and a good stretch would do me well. I like a longsword, but there's not much room for it in the heat of battle, where brute force will come in more handy for you. Such a hit with the pommel of a sword, handle of an axe, or edge of a shield will certainly disorient everyone. Would you like me to show you?
That sounds good. Teach me that.
All right. As I already said, often mainly brute force will help you in a fight. Attack with any short weapon a few quick times. Then, move towards the opponent and hit him in the face with the shaft. Oh, and if you have a shield, use it. That will definitely ruin your opponent's day. Now come and try it a few times. Good, good. You've really got a knack for it. Keep it up, my friend.
I'd like to learn...
Why not? As you can probably figure, I like the longsword because it's beautiful and an absolutely nimble weapon. Our grandfathers didn't use them, but today in Prague, everyone is tripping over themselves to learn how to fight with one. I'll be happy to show you how to handle it better. What do you say?
That sounds good. Teach me that.
As you wish. The first thing is to realize a sword has two blades, and thanks to your second hand on the hilt, you can quickly spin it around and hit your opponent's head. These are exactly the techniques that make the longsword an extremely deadly weapon. Now come and try it a few times. Good, good. You've really got a knack for it. Keep it up, my friend.
I'd like to...
Why not? If you are not afraid of fistfights, I'll show you a little trick. It is actually... I was taught it by a good old friend. But of course, first, you kick your opponent between the legs and pretend you're losing your balance. But at that moment, it won't put a bloke down. But it'll... Now come and try it a few times. Well, all good? No learning has ever fallen from heaven for anybody.
Can we fight?
What would you prefer?
Nah, I don't want wooden weapons.
How many opponents do you want?
Nah, this isn't my first time.
Are you ready?
Come and get another. Show your stuff. Ha! I'll rip your ass open. Tufo! You want to try me? Stop. Useless. Bad luck. I'm all yours. Now that's what I call an opener. Fuck yourself. I'll rip your ass open. You won't get me. Enough. I'm out of this. Show what you're made of. Fucking hell! Take that! I'm all yours. No, you don't. No, you don't. Tufo! No, you don't. Go fuck yourself. You won't get me.
I surrender. But don't let it go to your head. I'll even the score next time. I'm...
bothering us here? God be with you. Keep the peace. Stay fresh.
The Chamberlain mentioned you've seen demons at the castle.
You're damn right I did. What do you know about it?
Nothing. That's why I came to you.
I'm sure at least half a dozen demons have taken up residence in the western courtyard. If the Chamberlain didn't tell you how dangerous this is for all of us, I'm telling you now.
Of course he told me. That's why we're trying to resolve this as quickly as possible.
I'm glad to give those demons their...
Tell me what you know then.
You know the guardhouse with the little arena? In the palace below the Crone, over by the outer wall? Inside, I mean, on the ground floor. The place stinks like hell, day in and day out. I've seen things there with my own eyes I'd rather not talk about. I'd start the investigation there if I were you.
All right.
Thank you, sir, and come again. What can you do, sir? Maybe next time, then. Nothing to your liking, sir? I'm glad you found what you were looking for, sir.
Would you repair...
What are you doing with that?
God be with you.
What would you like?
Show me your way.
I'm glad you found what you needed, sir. What would you like? Certainly.
I could use the company of a pretty bath.
Excellent. Pay up.
I'll gladly...
Excellent. You... My God. That was really something. You'd better warn me next time. I'm not much of a swimmer.
You silly doggy.
Happy to be of service, sir.
God bless you.
Greetings.
The Chamberlain said you know something about the demons haunting the castle.
Of course I do. But I don't know what to think anymore. I keep finding hair in my food. Someone hides my spices. My soup goes sour. And there's that awful smell.
Well, maybe it's just a stray dog. What would demons want?
The more I think about it, the more I think it really is demons. A dog can't make your soup go sour. And besides, sometimes you hear this strange whispering around here.
Where should I start looking?
They must be coming from the other side of the castle. Under...
All right. But what am I supposed to do about them? I heard I'm supposed to pour some kind of special water.
But you're mostly right. You have to douse the ground in front of the fireplace they're coming from. That creates a boundary demons can't.
All right. Where can I find the fire?
That's hard to describe. Anyway, there are 5 such fireplaces on the crone side of the castle. Together they form the shape of a 5-pointed star. A pentagram.
Don't worry. I'll take care of everything. Hopefully I won't miss any of them.
If I were you, I'd do it during the night. Even the demons have to sleep sometime, don't they?
Well, the devil never sleeps.
And the old hag rushes in where the devil fears to tread, eh? The sooner you get rid of them, the better. See you soon, my friend.
Good doggy. Good boy.
I'm sorry.
God be with you. Keep the peace, and we'll stay friends. God be with you. Here, mutt. The Chamberlain said you know something about the demons haunting the castle.
Those monsters are back again. Last summer, we only heard them scratching the walls and roof with their claws. But they got a lot more bold this time. They're leaving charred marks on my wooden spoons, throwing clumps in my food, and they're constantly leaving their droppings in my kitchen.
Are you sure they're demons? I've seen a few mice here. They go wherever they want.
Only you youngsters can come up with something so stupid. You wouldn't know Lucifer if he pricked you in the forehead with his horns. I'm sure they're demons. They're jealous of the prosperity and peace Lord von Berghoff has brought us these last few years.
If you say so. Where should I look for them?
They're coming from the other side of the castle, below the maiden, I swear.
Manietta told me the demons are coming from this side of the castle, from below the crone.
My God, the poor girl must be under their spell. And I was so fond of her.
Let me guess. I'll have to find and sprinkle 5 fireplaces.
Of course. Everyone knows the demons enter this world through the flames. You have to find 5 fireplaces in the palace, under the maiden, and sprinkle water on them. Be careful to sprinkle within the width of your little finger. 9 drops, 1 for every angelic choir, and every 3rd drop must be twice as big as the ones before it.
I'll take care of it. I hope I can do it exactly as you said.
And one more thing to take to heart. The spell is most effective when performed in the moonlight. But most of all, don't forget 9 drops. It was good to see you, my friend.
I heard some interesting books from Prague have arrived at the castle. There's one I'd like to borrow. An alchemist's cookbook. A sand-coloured cover, embossed.
Yes, several rare and astonishing books have arrived from Prague. But why are you interested in an alchemist's cookbook, of all things?
I've heard there are some interesting ideas in it. Every alchemist is in dogged pursuit of wisdom, especially those from Prague.
Perhaps you know more about that book than I do. Well, I'll have to disappoint you. Lord Nickvard Libak helped me sort the new books at the time, and the one you're looking for caught his attention. He left with it before I could even discover what... All I remember is the author's initials. B.B. I'm fairly benevolent when it comes to lending books, and I appreciate Nickvard's help, but he's had it borrowed for an excessive amount of time now. I'd like to ask him to return it, but he's been avoiding me.
I'll have a talk with Nickvard and find out what the problem is.
You think I haven't tried? But since you've already offered to address this pressing situation, listen to what I've learned. It seems Nickvard lost the book. I've warned him repeatedly not to carry borrowed books around with him, but to leave them in his chamber and read them there. But Nickvard is old and stubborn, and this is how things turn out.
The price of such a book must be incalculable. People like Nickvard are too dumb to understand.
But I digress. As I said, Nickvard is intentionally avoiding me. But I've made headway. I've managed to find 3 people who've spoken to him recently. Bertha, the cook, Regina, the maid, and Hirsch, the hand.
For a nobleman, Nickvard is quite wary of his own kind, speaking only to servants.
I'm surprised that he's ever spoken to anyone but myself. Nickvard is a loner, which is also why I suspect something bad has happened. Now that he's decided to leave his shell, that is. But I'm afraid that's all I've managed to find out. Since Lord von Berkove's arrival, I've been preoccupied with other matters.
I'll help you. I'll ask all 3 and see if they lead me to Nick.
Many thanks. If you aren't sure what to do, stop by and we'll discuss what you found out.
Before I go...
Who exactly?
Where is Hirsch?
I've seen him with Hirsch at the transport yard below the castle. He sleeps in the house directly across from it. I don't know him much.
Where is Bertha?
Bertha cooks. If you can't...
Where is...
As Lord von Berkoff's personal maid, she'll like perhaps in the Knight's Hall, or on the floor above it.
You said Nickvard is of... Where at the castle does he live?
Nickvard lives like a hermit here at Trotsky. His chambers are in the Crone's Tower. But God knows if he took his meals down in the Crone's kitchen. Lately, I've often seen him talking to Regina in the Knight's Hall, in the maid... or looking out the hall window. I caught sight of him a few times with Hirsch at the transport yard below the castle.
So I just have to hope I run into him somewhere.
Nickvard always just shows up. I've rarely ever found him on my own. I'm not surprised you can't find him anywhere, since I've been trying myself.
That's everything I needed to know. About that
Please tell me.
I'm sorry. What kind of tasks do you do for Lord von Berkov?
Rare ones, lad. His lordship spends little time at Trotsky. As the royal chamberlain, he has to be in Prague most of the time.
Why doesn't Lord von Berkov free our King Wenceslas from captivity in Vienna? He's powerful enough for that, isn't he?
It's politics, boy. Pure and simple.
I understand. But could you explain it a bit more? Why did they take our king captive? And why did the Czech lords let Sigismund spread all over the country like a plague?
That's complicated. Back during the reign of both King's father, Emperor Charles, the nobles gained great wealth and power. And when young Wenceslas came to the throne, he didn't have enough experience or courage to stand up to them. That's why he surrounded himself with faithful lower lords and entrusted them with all the royal offices.
I reckon the high nobility didn't like that, eh?
You're damn right they didn't. They conspired against the king and established their League of Lords. That started a protracted war, dragging the king's cousins, Prokop and Jobst of Luxembourg, into it. But King Wenceslas was stubborn, unyielding, and, unfortunately, also often drunk. He preferred to run away from politics to wine, women, and the hunt. It was only a matter of time before the lords conspired with his brother, the Hungarian King Sigismund. A year ago, they got together and captured Wenceslas in Prague, and Sigismund had the royal castles occupied by his allies. They secretly took the king to Vienna, where his brother is still holding him firmly under lock and key.
So von Bergov and the others want Sigismund to be king?
Not at all. Soon they discovered they'd miscalculated, and that Sigismund wanted the whole country for himself. And now, they can't agree on what to do about it. I think that's why Lord von Berkhoff received your message. He's trying to find new allies among the lower nobility.
What does the Royal Chamberlain do?
I understand, lad. You're asking about his authority, eh?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know anything at all about him.
Sir Otto von Burgo is the Royal Chamberlain, subcamerarius in Latin. He's one of the 9 most powerful officials in the kingdom. He manages the royal towns and monasteries, approves the councillors and abbots in them, and appoints the royal judges.
Why does Sir Otto have to be in Prague so often?
Because that's the seat of the royal court, and our lord is one of the highest royal officials. Praga caput regni, young man. Prague is the heart of the kingdom. All the political threads come together there. It's where they handle administration of the country. If you want to be somebody, you have to go to Prague, or to Moravia, to that traitor Jobst of Luxembourg.
Excuse me, but why do you consider Margrave Jobst a traitor?
And what else should I call a person who only looks out for any chance to benefit himself?
But now he's fighting for King Wenceslas, isn't he?
Jobst has changed sides so often it's impossible to keep track. But, to give him credit where credit is due, unlike our king, he's a great politician. Wenceslas wasn't even able to hold on to the imperial crown that his father passed on to him before he died. Yes, indeed. One day that bloody Margrave Jobst of ours is going to make it big. He might even become the emperor himself.
Who are among Wenceslas's opponents?
Who do you think? All the nobles in the League of Lords. The most powerful are Henry of Rosenberg, Henry of Hraditz, Boresh of Riesenberg, Bohuslav of Schwamberg, and our Sir Otto von Berghoff, too. So,
but we serve Sahanish of Lipa and Radzig Kobyla.
Exactly.
Damn politics.
On the contrary, boy. It's only thanks to politics that von Berghoff didn't send you two to the...
I hear there are demons causing...
Again, is anyone sprinkling yet?
Me.
That's the only thing that works.
What do you think of all this?
Occasionally, I hear the servants telling stories that sound like they're taken straight out of a Cistercian penitential. Even Gregory the Great, Gregory of Tours, Caesarius of Heisterbach, or Jacobus de Vorgine all share a similar view of unholy forces. The devil, as the enemy of both God and man, makes every effort to seduce the soul onto the road to hell, and to harm people however he can. How do you imagine the forces of evil?
Like your mom.
Like a hairy terror with hooves, horns, and big nasty teeth.
Like something out of the Codex Gigas. Anything else?
I'd like to learn...
What are you interested...
Can you tell me what's been...
Fine. But it'll...
do what I asked you to?
Yes, sir. Everything's in order.
Everything. Really? You didn't forget anything?
I don't think so, sir. I tried my best, sir.
Well done. Drop by tomorrow. There's something else I need. You can go now.
Bring me some wine.
Nice out today. Hope it'll last.
God be with you. Keep the peace, and we'll stay friends.
God be with you. How's the watch going? Lord von Burgov, I've been told to deal with the demons plaguing the castle.
It's a thankless job, but a necessary one. I appreciate you taking care of it.
Are they really so much trouble around here?
They've been a nuisance ever since the castle was built. Call him whatever you want. Satan, Lucifer, Beelzebub. That hellish bastard certainly wasn't happy when Sir Vincent started building 2 towers right on top of his extinguished fairy estate.
I can't imagine he was.
But he soon realized it made him closer to people and that he could attempt them more easily. Many a poor soul in the lower castle has already fallen for his schemes and made a pact with hell.
Why don't you put a stop to it?
The castle is situated in a good strategic location. We have no choice but to try and tolerate Lucifer, and he has no choice but to tolerate us.
Bertha, instead of devils, I need your help now with Nickvard. The scribe told me you might know something about him.
Well, I'm waiting for Lord Libac to stop by. I brewed him another phial of medicine, but I don't even know if the last one helped. I told him to stop by for another one soon. I reckon he must be feeling better.
Did he say where he was headed?
I can't say. I promised Lord Libac his secret is safe with me, as well as his phial of medicine.
Oh, come now. Nickvard misplaced an important book somewhere. A sort of alchemist cookbook. I need to find it.
I remember the recipes by heart. And Lord Libac's secret is certainly worth more than any book.
Well, if a nobleman's secret is worth so much, how about this? That'll buy you more than one book.
I suppose Lord Libac wouldn't mind. And do you have the exact amount?
Of course.
So many groschen. I promise I'll split it with Lord Libac when I see him, and I'll explain everything.
But now tell me, what's the medicine for?
Well, it's a common potion for a bellyache. Just better tasting. It helps your meals go down easier and come out slower the other end. In that regard, Lord Libac had, well, how to say it? Everything came out much too quickly.
Nickvard didn't have time to run down the stairs, eh?
It was in the privy down below the crone. By the training ground, below the guardhouse. I helped him clean his hose and made him the medicine, and I promised that I wouldn't say anything. Lord Libac is quite particular about the impression he makes on the young maids, you know. He didn't want this little episode to put them off. That's why he didn't use the privy near the maids' quarters. Though it's closer to his chamber, but to the arena instead. And only when there weren't any soldiers around. But this time, it caught up with him.
Is that all?
What else is there to say? That the entire time he looked as if he'd done the worst thing in the world. It happens to the best of us. And I told him as much then. I'm just surprised he never came back for another file, I must say. He did look as if the fate of the entire castle was suddenly on his shoulders.
I don't know if this is going to do me any good.
Well, you could have found a worse clue.
Thanks anyway.
How can I help?
How long have you...
Why do you...
I don't know much about this place.
I'm not much of a talker. He's served here.
What would you like?
It's starting to stink. I'm always glad to see polite people like you. God be with you.
Greetings.
Excuse me.
How can I help you? Crone and Maiden standing behind the gate. That was in Gable's riddle. Yes? Hmm?
You're always welcome here, noble sir.
Nice and slow. Gah!
What do you need, sir?
I'm Henry.
What's it to you? Look here, Henry. Did you...
Actually, why not?
All right, then. That's different.
Are you really not going to tell me anything about?
And why the hell should I? If you want to shoot, that's all we need. Fellas wandering around Lord Von...
This place used to be a quarry.
No, it was the Hanging Gardens of Babylon. Of course it was a bloody quarry. This is where the stone for the entire castle was mined. Once the castle was completed, the mining stopped. But that was a long time ago. There's nothing left of those days. Just that old loony who keeps getting in our way.
What loony were you talking about?
Well, I heard he was a stonemason at the quarry. The rumour around the village is he and his friends saved their pay for God knows what, but something went wrong. The one who knew where the coin was hidden fell off the top of the quarry and was dead on the... Since then, the other fella's been sleeping in a nearby dilapidated shack and coming here every day to look for the silver. He's gone completely insane. Batty old fool. You can't even reason with him.
What do you have?
I hope you find what you're looking for next time.
What do you want?
I found your coin.
Really?
Here you go.
But that you're trying to steal everyone's. You're in for an arse kicking, you piece of shit.
Die, you wretch! I surrender. Enough. I'd like to...
Your first time, eh? What's it to be?
Bow.
All right. Of course, it's tougher against Mar... Well, fine.
Hang on. Yeah.
Wait a while. Attention! Now! 2 points. Not great, not terrible. I'm shooting like Apollo himself today. Another 5 points. You might as well just give up. Bullseye. Another 5 points. Another decent shot. I'm all thumbs today. Another decent shot. Another 5 points. That's 5 points. Pretty so-so. 2 points. Not great, not terrible. Another 5 points. That's 5 points. I'm shooting like Apollo himself today. I won! That's the way to do it. Come on then, here with the winnings.
I'm always glad to see polite people like you. God be with you.
Greetings.
Look who's here.
There was a right prop.
I'd say so. What kind of wedding would it be if the lads didn't get into a good old Pa was really pissed off, and my sister wouldn't stop crying to this day. But I didn't have much fun in a long... People will talk about that wedding for years to come, no doubt about it.
What have you found, boy?
Here you go. Take it. Aye, aye, you silly doggy.
My respect.
What are you doing here?
Greetings.
Good day. How's life treating you?
Not too bad, but I've got so much.
Good afternoon.
I'm looking for Nickvard. The scribe told me you might know something about him.
Hey, Nick. I mean, Lord Libac. I almost forgot about him. I suppose his task wasn't so pressing.
What do you mean, forgot?
Nick Libac, that is, entrusted me with a big task quite a while back. He's a castle lord. Obviously, I had to, but then I heard what another castle lord was planning, von Berghoff, and I had to obey him even more. He says there's a war on. So here I am, ready to go off to battle.
I need to know more about what Nickvard asked you to do.
No. There are new rules now. You have to prove you're not a spy.
What are you blathering about?
Von Berghoff said there's a war on, right now. I told him, watch out for spies, Sir Otto. But fear not, I know how to snip. You're a spy yourself.
I'm not.
Ha! That's why you have to be vetted, to see if you're really on the side that Nickvard's on, just so you know. We're all friends here. You can join us.
I'd like to.
Hold your horses. First a test.
Tell me what you want from me.
A sword.
Sword? What sword?
A long and very good one to help me deal with other spies. If you bring it to me, I'll know you're not an enemy spy who should fear me. Forge one, buy one, or even steal one. Maybe from one of the guards at the training ground or down by the gate. During the day, they're not in the towers anyway.
Steal a sword? That sounds like something a spy would.
Not a spy who wants to help von Berghoff's most loyal servant. By servant, I mean me. Once I get a sword, I'll fill you in on Nickvard's task.
You wanted a sword?
I don't want an invisible.
I'll think of a...
I'm always glad to see polite people like you. God.
At your service, sir.
About...
Got that...
You want...
That's perfect. I don't think you're a spy. Can't say for sure, but you seem all right.
What about Nickford, then?
Nickvard asked me to do something for him. He must have admired my devotion to Lord von Burgos. Either way, Nick looked troubled and not very healthy. He wanted me to fetch him something he lost outside the castle, and I told him I would. At least I could check to see if anyone was sneaking around about the castle. But then Nickvard clutched his belly and ran off. So I never...
That's all?
Aye. If you run into Nickvard, I'll be going into war soon. So I don't have time...
I'll tell him.
Service, sir.
You're not permitted to be here. Surrender now.
All right. You caught me. I surrender.
You can't say you weren't. You'll pay up.
All right.
Now show.
All right.
Well, this. All right. That. But I don't want to.
I'm sorry.
God bless you, sir.
Good afternoon.
Do you know where I can find Nickford? The scribe said you might know.
Erazim is suddenly interested in Nickvard and me. You don't say. But when I need him to read something for me, he never has the time. I'm sorry.
I was asking about Nickford.
Aye, I heard you. Say,
I can.
in that case, would you mind reading this message I have from Nickvard?
Show me. Dear Mistress of the Chambers. What is it?
Oh, what I wouldn't give to get messages from someone else. Say, Lord Capon. Never mind. Read on.
Hans
I reckon
Capon?
it interests you more than me.
Persevere. We shall soon escape the dungeon of those two women. Cursed fate, however, has placed an obstacle in my way. The heat of the Lightbringer's potion is working, and I can feel my insides being reborn. But when the last remnants of old age left my body, something else was washed away with them.
How much longer is it?
Not much. My damn clumsiness has sent all of the Lightbringer's secrets into the void, but fear not, I shall get them back. May this be the first task on the road to your liberation. That's it.
Beautiful.
True enough. Nick Vard has a flair for the dramatic.
My, that's Liebach for you.
But what does it mean? Can you explain any of it to me?
Lord Liebach has taken a liking to me. I suggested to him it wasn't proper for a noble to have an affair with a maid. He thought I meant he was too old for me. But then he found what he calls the Lightbringer's potion book. He said it would light a flame in him that would burn out all that's old. So I suppose it worked. Hooray!
I know the book he's talking about, but what does he mean, into the void?
Look, can we stop talking about this? I feel a little uncomfortable here talking about some old lovelorn nobleman.
I understand. Just one more thing, please. When was the last time you saw Nick Vard? And where?
The last time was in the Knight's Hall. But that was a long time ago. I found that message a few days ago. Hard to say where he's off to.
Thanks anyway.
I'm always glad to see polite people like you. God be with you.
Cheers. I hope you have an uneventful shift.
God bless you, sir.
The angel of the Lord declared unto Mary, and she conceived of the Holy Spirit.
Greetings.
How long have you been here in Trotsky?
Well, it's been quite a few years. But if you are interested in local history, you should go and see the scribe Erazim. He's been here the longest.
How do things work in the castle?
You mean who runs things when our lord is away?
Yeah, I see there's a lot of people here, so I wouldn't want to offend anyone.
Then you should watch out especially for Lady Yitka. She's the wife of our Burgrave Hashek. She's a pious woman, but also damned firm and strict on the servants. Her husband is in charge of the castle garrison and order in the region. Then he's an old soldier and an upright fellow, even if he doesn't come to confession more than once a year. And the ruler of the roost here is the Chamberlain, Ulrich von Schaumburg. You seriously don't want to cross him.
I noticed there's no church in Troskowitz, or anywhere nearby. Why's that?
It's true. You'll find the closest one in Uyezd, or in Mladyeyov on the other side. In Trotsky, we only have the chapel in the castle tower. In short, this domain is the middle of nowhere. It was only with Sir Otto's arrival that great things started happening.
What is Sir Otto von Berghoff like?
What can I tell you? Lord von Berghoff provides a livelihood for many people. He brought money to the region, restored and expanded the castle, and yet he spends most of his time in Prague. He's the royal chamberlain, and politics takes up a lot of his time.
I understand. He pays well and doesn't get in the way, eh?
That's not what I said. The old chamberlain, Ulrich, manages the estate, and he's definitely good with numbers, at least. But numbers and accounts aren't everything. One should also think about the salvation of one's soul. But that young man is absolutely none of your business.
If I sin before God, is there any way I can atone for my sin?
Well. Have you got a guilty conscience, Fred? You can pay the indulgence in the scribe's box, or you can take the path of repentance and go on a pilgrimage. It will improve your reputation with people, but beware. Making a pilgrimage does not erase your crimes in the eyes of the law, nor does it release you from paying a fine. Always keep that.
I'd like to...
What do you want?
I heard the castle is haunted by demons again, Nicodemus. Did they bother you too?
They did indeed. A few days ago, I was in the chapel, deep in prayer, when a spawn of hell appeared before me. Fac mihi hominium. Swear an oath of allegiance to...
My God. What did you say to it?
I laughed in the face of the Prince of Darkness. Would you not rather renounce your slavery and return to heaven? I told. Without hesitation, he replied, better to rule hell than to be a slave in hell. And then he disappeared, veiled in a terrible, foul-smelling smoke.
That sounds horrifying. But anyway, Like I said, I was told to sprinkle water. If they dare try that even on a man of faith, nothing else will help.
I'm glad you have faith in the Lord, and not in some old wives' tale. Now take up your task, and rid us of that hell. May the Lord guide you.
I'd like to...
What do you want to...
I'd like to...
All right then, but it... Careful!
You're always welcome here, noble sir.